So welcome everybody to Birmenstorf, Zurich, Switzerland for this international workshop, LandAware. My name is Manfred Stähli and I'm the organizer, the local organizer, I would say, of this meeting here. Unfortunately, we are not everybody has come yet. I know that people from Japan who should arrive also, they have not arrived yet. But I think we should start anyway because we have a quite dense program today. And Susan, heute noch slides switch. In that sense, I would like to take the opportunity to welcome you here to this workshop. As you can see, we are in a very nice location here, a little bit outside of Zurich. This is the Swiss Federal Research Institute, WSL. It's a research institute which is between fundamental research and applied research. So we try to build a kind of a bridge from knowledge to application. And I would say the key expertise here of this institute is forest, natural hazards, snow and ice, but also landscape and environmental issues in general. Unfortunately, the sun is not shining, but here you see how this area looked 1 year ago on the 13th of July last year. We had a tremendous storm. We had heavy rainfall with a lot of damage in the areas. And what you also can see on the lower right image, we had a landslide very close nearby, blocking the road to Zurich. So natural hazards is not only a theory here, it can also happen. It is very much a key topic for our research institute, which is not only located in Birmenstorf, but also in other locations of Switzerland, in Davos, the snow experts, in Cadenazzo, the experts on forest fire, and also in Sion, where we have very central infrastructure for studying debris flows. So we are not only experts on landslides, but today, of course, the topic is landslide early warning. And we have now here gathered experts from all the world in landslide early warning, be it people doing actually operational service or operational warning in countries, but also researchers. And here you on this map, you see the distribution of the participants where they are coming from. You know, all that landslides are an international phenomena, be a problem for many countries worldwide. If we look at this new global landslide detector that was launched some weeks ago, which was produced by colleagues in India and England, you can see where we had in messages, Twitter messages related to landslides during the last month. And you see that it is something that occurs worldwide. In that sense, it's very nice that we also have a broad distribution of countries here today to discuss these issues. And it is very much the goal of these 3 days where we are here now to exchange our current needs, our recent experiences that we have made in our institutes with regard to landslide warning. Of course, we will see some recent findings and innovations that occur everywhere in all countries. And of course, we would also in these 3 days get some feedback and discussions with regard to this network that has been established 2 years ago. I would also particularly welcome the online participants. According to the registration lists, it should be about 30 persons from various countries worldwide who could not made it to come here. And I would like to say that the interaction, the feedback from the online people is very welcome. You can use the chat function to communicate with our technicians. It's only possible to join this workshop today and on Wednesday. And we will also we will record this event so that we can also keep some memories, but also key information that we gather here in this workshop for future use. And if you online people have technical problems, you can let us know about these problems in the chat function or send an email to Armin, I sent you all this email in advance, so we can contact him by email also. So, my final slide, it's really a pleasure for us here for WSL to host this event. And thank you for coming, because that was the main goal of this workshop, that we can physically meet for the first time LandAware. This has not happened before. And after so many online meetings, I think it's the right time now to really meet physically. And thank you that you took the opportunity to come here. With that, I hand over to Michele and give you the word for the next part.
Thank you very much, Manfred. Can you hear me? Yes, okay. I welcome you as well. I thank very much Manfred for having organized this. So we will start right away without spending time on other introductory words, but I welcome you here as well on behalf of all the executive committee of LandAware. Before starting to describe the main characteristics of the network, you can see here a screenshot of the web page. By now, if you are here either physically or online, you know what LandAware is and our web page. But I want to just briefly introduce the wider context within which LandAware is operating. We are dealing with landside early warning systems. So these systems are important non-structural measures designed and used to minimize the impact posed by hazards on humans. Let's say that in the past couple of decades, the design, implementation, management, and validation of these systems have been topics of increasing attention in the literature, but also in the technical world, highlighting several complexities. Here you can see somehow on the left part of the slide, an old-fashioned scheme from 2007. You see 4 activities with a flow chart. You move from monitoring to analysis, forecasting to warning to response in a sort of sequential way. However, as you can see in the right part of the slide, more recent schemes highlight that also non-technical components, such as education, in this particular slide, must be considered essential parts of the system, in addition to more technical components, in this case identified as design, monitoring, and forecasting. These sort of newer type of schemes are indeed more coherent with what UNDRR use. This particular framework, it was already proposed 15 years ago. You can see here the role of dissemination, communication, and response capability highlighted alongside risk knowledge and monitoring and warning. And if you read, for instance, the definition, here we are talking about an integrated system which includes hazard monitoring, forecasting, prediction, disaster risk assessment, communication, preparedness activities, all of that to enable people that are exposed to risks, individuals, communities, governments, businesses, to do something, take timely action to reduce in advance the possible consequences of hazardous events. Without all of that, I want to stress, a system that is an early warning system wouldn't be effective without all of that. That said, 2 years ago, it was a little more than 2 years ago, in July 2020, this network, LandAware, was created, indeed, specifically, I'm reading here from the cooperation agreement, indeed to share experiences, needs, and innovations among LandAware early warning system experts, and to develop and promote guidelines and best practices for upcoming LandAware early warning systems. The network is definitely a multidisciplinary, knowledge-based non-profit, for sure, association of individuals, could be managers, researchers, as Manfred was saying, university professors, stakeholders, others, all joined by the common interest in addressing and promoting issues related to LandAware early warning systems. We arrived at this network, the establishment of this network shall be seen as a follow-up initiative of 2 workshops. There were 2 invitation-only workshops on territorial geographical LandAware early warning systems. They were held in Oslo, in Norway in 2016, picture to the left, and in Perugia, in Italy, in January 2020, picture to the right, that you can see in the right. LandAware as a bottom-up organizational structure, so that, yes, there is a General Assembly, an executive committee, but also a series of working groups. And indeed, the working groups are the main operational units of LandAware. And they operate based on some predefined objectives. I want to acknowledge the people that are here behind these working groups. You can see the names of the different working groups and of the people that are chairing them. I guess all of you are part of some working groups in one way or another. And in the afternoon, of course, I'm not spending time now. You will hear from them about the activities that have been carried out in the different working groups in the past 2 years. Most of the people chairing the working groups are indeed the founding members, not all of them, but the founding members of the network. And as such, in this initial phase of the network, we were just born 2 years ago, the executive committee members. So I am presiding, I have the honor to preside this committee. You can see here, we come from many different countries and institutions. We have NASA in the US, BGS and Met Office in UK, NDE in Norway, WSL here, our host in Switzerland, the University of Salerno, where I come from, my institution, as well as in Italy, we have CNR and the National Civil Protection, and also in Japan, of course, NILIM. From these, I think it's clear to you that the network started as a sort of, let me call it, joint venture between authorities operating in LandAware early warning systems and research institutions. So, of course, all united by this common interest in the topic, developing and managing warning systems for landslides. But of course, there is then the membership base. We have up to now, I was checking together with Stefano a couple of days ago, 266 members from 51 countries. This is sort of the front row of the network, widely distributed across the globe. And of course, coming from many different institutions, agencies, universities. You can, the map was clear, but if you want to get a little bit more detail, you can see country by country. Yes, the highest number at the moment is Italy, 40 people, but then we have also, let's see, Norway with a lot of people there, India, the UK. Anyway, widely distributed with different numbers in different countries. I'm about to close this brief presentation. I wanted to make it short because then the interesting part comes right after me. And I want to tell you that besides the activities of the different working groups, we organize some network-wide activities. We started online. We couldn't do but online things up to now. So I'm very glad to be here physically with all of you. Okay, I'm also glad that some people are also following us in the hybrid version of this thing. But anyway, the physical presence is important. We had a kickoff in 2020. Then we had this May Day event last year, 24 hours, a sort of conference. Indeed, it was a conference, round-the-clock conference with more than 300 participants, 51 countries. Throughout the day, not everybody was following, including us, throughout the day. And indeed, you may know, or if you don't know, I'm telling you, that most of, we have a YouTube channel, and most of the sessions from that event are indeed on the channel. And you can watch them also, as we will do for this event. There will be a chance to watch them afterwards. A final comment on our networking and dissemination activities. There is a section of our blog called News from Members. We created that specifically to share news about LandAware early warning systems, sort of virtual space where people interested in the subject could, not only LandAware members, could refer to. And of course, if you are a subscriber of our newsletter or a member of LandAware, you regularly, you should, I want to stress this one, you should regularly receive this newsletter. If you don't, maybe it's in the spam folder, check it out, because we are sending these very regularly every time a new post appears. And with these, no, I'm really done. So I can officially, after Manfred, that is the real host of this event, I can officially welcome you to the LandAware Workshop 2022. You have the program in your hands now, so I don't have to put it here for you. And whether in person or online, I hope you are, you will enjoy these 2.5 days that we will spend dealing with LandAware early warning systems. So with this, I guess I'm pretty much on time. I stopped here.